Actually, I want to show you what I got in the mail today. Actually, a week ago on Monday. Look at that. Is that not the most beautiful phone ever? You saw this in Barcelona.
That was the one device I would like to have walked away from Barcelona with.
Galaxy S7. I'm crazy me. I bought the gold one, which looks kind of like a bar of gold, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It's kind of beautiful. I'm smitten. It's a very lovely phone. This is the always on feature, which I do like. Battery life has been very good so far, although I haven't really had a complete time to test it because we traveled, so we were in bad cell signals and stuff. It still does the weird thing that Samsung does, which is the physical home key. They've reversed the Android buttons. The finger, I'm doing it upside down, so the fingerprint readings might not be super. It's pretty fast. There it goes. And boy, what a gorgeous screen. Now, I immediately took TouchWiz off as the launcher. I'm using Nova Launcher, but it is about as gorgeous a screen as you can get. And the edge means there's no bezels. I mean, it just goes right around the edge, which is, by the way, why I'm ordering a case, because it's very hard to hold this phone without touching the screen. On the other hand, man, is it snappy. With 4 gigs of RAM and that new Snapdragon 820 processor, it really feels fast.
You know, we felt like they did this right because they had a really good design in the S6 Edge. They didn't really need to change it. They just needed to up the specs, tweak the software, and I think they've done that. But I've got a question for you, Leo.
Yeah.
Because we had both the S7 and the S7 Edge right next to each other at the booth.
Yeah.
And Carson asked, who would go for the S7? Who wouldn't want the Edge?
I think there's one argument against the S7 Edge is this Edge, by the way, you had your eyes closed, sorry. Is that this Edge goes all the way around and is, as I said, hard sometimes to, you touch it by accident. And the thing is so snappy that it's very easy to get stray touches. And I turned off the Edge features, the slide-in thing. I don't really understand that. So you know what? You'd do as well with the S7. But the S7 Edge has a bigger battery, considerably bigger, like 600 milliamp hours bigger. And so that's for that reason alone, I think it's worth getting. It does support SD card now, which is good up to 200 gigabytes, but they didn't do that, the new Marshmallow Android 6.0, adopting the memory into the base storage. And the base storage of this is ridiculous. It's only 32 gigabytes. It would have been nice if I put a 228 gigabyte card, it would have been nice if it would merge those so it looks like it's a giant phone.
Right.
Because some apps, like my Audible app, I want to put the books on the SD card, but I can't.
Really?
Well, not if I want it to be a widget. You know, you have to move the app as well as the data, and with the Audible app. The Audible app used to let you put books on the SD card. They stopped. I don't know why. So that's my biggest, but I did put 3 or 4 gigs of music on here on the SD card. I haven't filled up the phone. There's plenty of room in it. The battery life has been excellent. The camera's fantastic.
I've been wanting an Android phone that had a camera to die for.
And this is better than the iPhone camera. I think there's no question. f1.7. Which means it's very fast. They reduced it from 16 megapixels
and
to 12.
The focusing time is fantastic.
It's super fast. Everything's super fast in this. Look at the fingerprints, though. This thing is a fingerprint magnet. No scratches yet, though, although I've seen people smash this. I think there's some sort of coating on this that smashes, like a very thick varnish that smashes, but it's hard to scratch. I don't know. I think that's the most lovely phone ever. I really do. And I know gold is kind of silly, and they have other colors. But Icon has opulence, right?
They had other devices at the Samsung booth that were interesting. Their VR products were nice, but it was really the S7 and the S7 Edge. That's what everyone wanted to get their hands on.
If you're buying a high-end phone, it's this and the iPhone. Those are the choices. This is the same size screen as an iPhone 6s Plus, but because there's no bezels on the side, it feels like a kind of a normal, smallish phone. It doesn't feel like a giant phone. I really like it.
Although I am with you in that as these phones get thinner and lighter, it's harder to cup it. I like to cup my phone and have it held in my hand. I always feel like I'm going to flip it out of my hands if I squeeze too hard.
There's hardly any edge on metal edge on this thing. You can barely hold it because a lot of that's screen. Nevertheless, these are all minuscule picks. If you want an Android phone, this is easily the nicest one out there right now. I haven't seen the G5 yet. Nobody has.
We saw the LG.
You saw it, but nobody's got it yet.
No one's got it, but I mean, we were able to take it apart. We were able to pull out the little module.
What do you think?
The promise is there. The phone is decent. It's not nearly as nice as the S7 and the S7 Edge, but that idea of being able to pull out a module and maybe plug in the audio or the camera module. There was actually one vendor there that was already developing a module for putting multiple HDMI inputs. So you could actually have your phone streaming to Twitch and switch between cameras.
That's interesting.
If you're a podcaster, that would be perfect. That is your phone.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of at the stage now in these phones where there's not going to be massive improvements, but there might be interesting wrinkles. That's a very interesting wrinkle. I have a new friend, a new little friend, and he's always in my
Jason
pocket.
has been coveting your phone.
Yeah. I can't believe I got it on Monday. I ordered it from T-Mobile the day they would put it on pre-order, and I got it 2 days later.
They learned.
Well, there's still journalists who are embargoed, which is kind of funny.
Sorry.
There you go.